Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Paul Innocent Channel, and what it's like to really be an actor in Great Britain. I had an audition for a stage production yesterday. If I get it, it's a 12-month contract offering me £750 per week. I haven't had the stage audition in over 6 months. Mainly of late because most of the auditions I've been going for have been for TV roles and TV adverts. When I first get there, I go over my mental checklist. I'm wearing the right clothes. Yes. I've learnt the 2 monologues that they asked me to learn. Yes. I'm still extremely physically fit and strong. Yes. Okay. Suddenly, we're called in groups of 8, I hasten to add, by the director, who happens to be from Long Island, New York. Suddenly he says, "Okay, guys, nice to meet you all. First of all, we're going to do an improv. Improv in America means improvisation. Those of you guys listed as actors A are going to start the scene off with some movement or putting out some kind of dialogue. Meanwhile, you guys listed as actors B are going to go over there and stand by the wall. When you see your partners in crime, that's actors A, start the scene, you're going to come in totally pissed." Now, pissed in America happens to mean angry, as opposed to over here, where it means drunk. I happen to know that. I happen to also know that when it comes to improvisation, under no circumstances can there be any confrontational physical contact whatsoever. Anyway, for this particular instance, I was listed as actor A. Suddenly, the director yells, "Okay, guys, go!" So I start pacing up and down, in the guise of a barman, sweating on his forehead, sweating profusely, nervous as hell, can't stop rubbing his hands together, cage even. Now, I've done this for about 10 seconds, and suddenly, actor B has come rushing in, full pelt like Linford Christie, with his hands out in front of him, and shoved me straight in the chest. And I'm almost sure I've been so winded that I won't be able to talk at all for the rest of the scene. Meanwhile, Paul, the actor, not the character I was playing, was thinking, "What? This silly fool has just made confrontational physical contact with me. I'll kill him!" Meanwhile, Paul, the professional, stood there and took it. Solid as a rock. After all, I've been very, very well trained, and it would take more than a temporary impairment to prevent my voice from being projected and vocalised. So I played the underling to actor B's cricketer-type character throughout this whole damn improvisation. The good thing was, he only physically pushed me once throughout the whole thing, but I honestly think it was to get his energy level up. And wouldn't it have been easier just to do what the rest of us had done at home? And that is some breathing and voice exercises. Anyway, at the end of that improv, the director yells, "Way to go, guys, way to go. Okay, gather round. Hey, why don't we mix it up a little, huh? Okay, all you actor A's, I want you to get a different partner. Oh, obviously, you're going to have actor B's as your partner, but just get a different actor B." So I stand there, while all these other actors mill around, and suddenly, lo and behold, I've got this beautiful actress in front of me, who's my new actor B. I'm thinking, this is wonderful. It's wonderful. Anyway, suddenly the director says, "Okay, guys, what's going to happen now is all the actor A's are going to start the scene off in a similar way that you did before, either with some movement or dialogue. Meanwhile, all you actor B's are going to go and stand over by the wall there, okay? And when you see your partners in crime, actors A, I want you guys to come into the scene, and this time you're totally hysterical with happiness." I think the director was going for something totally opposite to what the previous improv had put out in mood and emotion, which, as you know, was anger. Suddenly, the director says, "Okay, guys, go." So I decide this time I'm going to be a man walking over to the local vending machine to pick up his coffee. I looked around, and the beautiful actress was standing 18, 19 feet away from me. That's my actor B this time. And she shouts, "Darling!" I look over, she goes, "I'm pregnant!" I'm thinking, oh, what a wonderful scenario. She sprints over to me like Linford Christie. What is it about these actors who have to run everywhere? Until she stops about 6 foot away and suddenly leaps, not jumps, leaps into my arms. And I suddenly, when I catch her, I think, my God, you're heavy for a private actress. I think I pulled a vertebrae. Meanwhile, Paul, the professional, stood there, solid, and took it. Under duress, under pain. After all, to drop her would have been cripplingly painful for both of us. In fact, I think we'd have both been hospitalised. But somehow I managed to stay standing and put a fake smile on my face, as one does. At the end of that improv, suddenly the director shouts, "Okay, guys, well done. Okay, this is the final one. I want all the actor A's this time to go over by the wall there, and this time the actor B's are going to start the scene. Now, actor B's, you know what you got to do. You start off with some movement or some kind of dialogue, and actors A, when you see your partners in crime, actors B, starting the scene off. This time, I want you guys to walk in like you're totally devoid of life, like you're in some kind of trance or something." So suddenly I think, hallelujah, I get my chance to go over there and come in and bring something good to... Hold on. Devoid of life? Some kind of trance? They should describe the comatose patient or something. I can't believe this. This is turning out to be total BS. Oh, maybe I can score some points when I recite my 2 monologues to the director. No such luck. Luck! I'm to think of another 4-letter word that rhymes with that. Just put a letter E-D at the end of it. You've got my situation quite clearly described. Now, I ask you, have you ever encountered such scenarios in the 9-to-5 work industry, where you've had your time completely wasted on an interview for a legitimately advertised job, but in reality was only advertised to fulfill local government protocol, their quota, as opposed to, which is more than likely, offer you the already filled job, or have any sort of opinion on this at all? If you do, please leave a comment, because knowledge is power. And maybe we can talk about it too. Also, if you enjoyed watching this, please tick the like button, won't you? And subscribe to the channel. Tune in for next week's episode of Hey, Paul Innocent Chandler, and what it's like to really be an actor in Great Britain. Bye-bye.